They say trust is the foundation of any marriage, but what happens when that foundation cracks, not from an earthquake, but from a whisper in the dark? Elena and Marcus had been together 15 years. To the outside world they were perfect, she the sharp-eyed architect who could make concrete look romantic. He the literature professor who still quoted Neruda to her in bed. They had survived the worst, the miscarriage that left a silent crater in their home, the years of quiet grief that followed. They had come out the other side, or so Elena believed. It began the way these things always do, small. Almost nothing. A new teaching assistant named Sophia, late 30s, clever. Hungry in the way Elena had once been hungry. She laughed at Marcus's references, finished his sentences, lingered after seminars. Elena noticed the shift the way you notice the first cool breath of autumn, his phone face down on the table now. The sudden enthusiasm for department drinks, the faint trace of a different perfume on his coat. She told herself she was being ridiculous. Then came the night she arrived home early. The house was dim, the study door ajar. She heard low voices, the soft rustle of pages. She pushed the door wider. Marcus and Sophia sat shoulder to shoulder over an open book, heads almost touching. Nothing obscene. Just closeness that didn't belong to her. She closed the door without a sound and poured herself a glass of wine with shaking hands. Doubt is patient. It waits. She started checking his phone while he showered. At first it was harmless, great lecture today. Then thinking about our conversation on Keats. Can't sleep. Then a photo. Just the two of them at a conference, arms looped together. Faces bright with something Elena hadn't seen in Marcus for years. She confronted him over dinner. Who is she, Marcus? Just my Helena. You're tired. You're imagining things. He said it gently, the way you speak to someone who might be losing their mind. And because she loved him. She almost believed it, but architects understand structures. When something is off balance, you keep looking until you find the flaw. She hired an investigator. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday. Inside, grainy photographs of Marcus and Sophia walking into a roadside motel, his hand on the small of her back. Her head tilted toward him like a flower toward light. Room 207, check-out time the next morning. Elena didn't cry. She sat at the kitchen table until dawn, turning the photos over and over, as if they might rearrange themselves into something less lethal. She invited Sophia to dinner. Sophia arrived in a red dress that looked expensive and slightly cruel. She kissed Elena's cheek, complimented the house, accepted a glass of wine with a smile that never faltered. Marcus looked like a man waiting for the floor to drop. Under the table, Elena's fingers found the edge of a photograph she'd slipped into her pocket. She didn't need to show it. She simply watched them both, the way a cat watches birds it has already decided to kill. Sophia left at 10:30 with polite thanks and a promise to return the borrowed book. Marcus closed the door and turned to Elena, pale. How long? Elena asked. Her voice was steady, almost curious. He told her everything. Not in a rush of remorse, but slowly, like a man unloading stones he'd carried too long. It had started with conversation, then drinks, then one night when the conference ran late and the wine was strong and the room was already paid for. He said he loved them both. He said he was sorry. He said a lot of things men say when the truth finally claws its way out. Elena listened without interrupting. When he finished, she walked upstairs, packed a single suitcase for him, and set it by the door. Get out, he begged. He cried. He left. Divorce papers followed 6 weeks later. Sophia disappeared, blocked his number the moment she learned Elena knew. Marcus sent flowers, letters, voicemails that grew shorter and more desperate. Elena deleted them all. She rebuilt slowly. Therapy. Long runs at dawn. A new project that won awards. Casual dates that never quite stuck until Alex, quiet, widowed, and afraid of silence, showed up at an art opening and listened to her story without trying to fix it. One rainy Thursday, Marcus appeared at the cafe where she sometimes worked. Thinner, older. Eyes red from too little sleep and too much regret. I made a mistake, he said, the biggest mistake of my life. Please, Elena, Come home. She looked at him for a long time. 15 years of mornings, of shared jokes and private languages. Of bodies that once knew each other better than words, flashed behind her eyes. Then she stood, gathered her laptop, and walked past him without a word. Outside, Alex was waiting with an umbrella and a smile that asked for nothing. Years later, Elena's firm has offices in 3 cities. She and Alex spend winters in Lisbon, summers on a quiet stretch of the Croatian coast. Marcus still teaches, still quotes poetry to half-empty lecture halls. Sometimes, on sleepless nights, he opens the journal he kept during those months and reads the line he never showed anyone. I thought I wanted to feel young again. I only managed to grow old alone. Trust, once broken, doesn't mend clean. It heals crooked, stronger in places, forever tender in others. And that, in the end, is the only mercy betrayal ever leaves behind.